Hey, what's good, YouTube family? It's your boy Robert Williams here with another volume of Dear Younger Me. And today we are going to be talking about learning how to say no. All right, so let's get into it. So, learning how to say no is something that would be valuable for the future. And I can tell you that when I was younger, I wanted to be involved in almost everything that was going on. All right. So I wanted to be almost at every party, every gathering. When the homies were kicking in, let's say we weren't doing things we should have been doing, I wanted to be there. And when the ladies called, I wanted to be there, right? Who would say no to that? But let me be honest with you, my younger self, that younger person out there that's listening to this, something that I wish I knew when I was younger is that there is so much power in saying no and learning to say no so that you can set yourself up better for the future. And the reason I say that is because when you get a phone call, and back in the day, I used to smoke a lot of weed, or I used to drink a lot, right? And I did it underage when I wasn't supposed to be, legally couldn't even be doing those things, but I was anyways. And I would say yes, and I would spend and waste my money on substance that was abusing my body. I was wasting and spending money on substance that I could have been taking and utilizing it for better. I could have been saving more as a youth. I could have been learning how to invest more as a youth. Now, hindsight being 2020, I mean, hey, sue me, right? But if I could tell any person right now, look, there is power. There's so much power in learning to say no, from peer pressure, from just folks saying, hey, let's go and do this extra thing. Let's say you had plans and you went and did something, and somebody wanted to do something extra that you knew that was going to cost you money that you didn't have to spend, right? Then it's power in saying, nah, I've had enough. I'm going to go home and enjoy myself and really sit back and just enjoy the fact that you went and did what you planned to do, and you went home and you had a safe night, right? There's times where you can say no to, you know, going on that drive, or even things that may not have spent any money, yet it took time away from something that you should have been doing. I remember one time in college, I was supposed to write a paper, and I was just hanging out with this young lady at my house instead. And honestly, I knew I should have been writing that paper for that college course, but I didn't want to say no to the young lady. And so we're kicking it, and I wasn't even really enjoying myself because back in my mind, I'm like, oh, I got this paper I got to write. What am I doing? We're wasting time. I'm not even enjoying myself because I'm supposed to be writing this paper. Oh my gosh. And that was definitely a waste, right? It didn't cost me anything, but it definitely cost me a grade because I didn't get that paper done. And even I think I rushed it, right? So that was one example of wasting my time. Another time that I definitely should have said no, and one of my friends ended up getting arrested. Rest in peace. He's no longer here, because he died in his sleep, unfortunately, at a very young age. But he was going to be, making some money for himself, essentially, in selling narcotics. Nothing heavy, just some weed. We went to a game, and we were enjoying it ourselves, and he just so happened to have some bags. Somebody came up on him and asked, hey, do you have something? I mean, we should have said no, because that person ended up being an undercover cop. My friend ended up spending time in jail, unfortunately. Now, I didn't have anything on me, but you know what? He looked at me and he asked me, hey, what do you think I should do? I was like, I mean, make the money. Should have said no, learning to keep some things in private, especially being out in public. That could have saved my friend a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy. I still feel bad to this day that that happened. Couldn't even enjoy the game after that. I was all by myself. And so those were some instances that I knew I should have said no. I have way more stories that I can tell you to understand. There's a lot of power in saying no from wasting your time, your money, and your energy. Now, on the flip side, I want you to understand in business, though, too, and in success and in life, a lot of no's will occur, will come, and will happen. And you'll have to learn how to learn to accept the no's and get the no's, because the no's will lead to success as long as you continue to strive forward. All right. You're going to have to go through a lot of no's until you get to a yes. If you're trying to sell a product, if you're trying to do something to be successful, you're going to get a lot of rejection. And sometimes you're going to have to say no to opportunities that don't quite fit in line with what you're trying to do. So a no, a lot of times in sales and in business, is a not yet, but then you're going to have to say no to some things that you don't need to be doing because you're focused on doing A activity instead of going and doing B activity. You need to stay focused on the prize. So you got to say no to the things that could be a distraction because it's not allowing you to reach your goals and what you're trying to do. Okay. So this is just a quick little short talk on the power in learning how to say no, learning that saying no is very valuable. You don't want to be a yes man. You don't need to be at everything. You need to learn and have the power to say no to some things. All right. So until next time, continue to think, live, and be unstoppable. Peace out, y'all.